Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here today at Earth and Sky. I hope you had a chance this week to see our first segment of Tea with DNA. Deanna Zayats and I have started this new segment where we're uncovering the science behind the metaphysical. Metaphysical isn't just mystical, it's actually metaphysics. So it's the combination of, when you look at the word analogy, it's meta, which is over and above and beyond, and physics, which is physics, the laws of physics. And so we're combining and talking about all of that, uncovering a lot of different topics, getting into a bit of the science behind it, uncovering it and exposing it so it's not just mystical, it actually tells you how it works. There are a lot of laws behind things that will actually show you how you can create your life, how you can manifest your destiny. And so that's what we're covering in our Tuesday segment, Tea with DNA. So if you haven't already, go ahead and watch last week's episode and look for this week's episode coming up on Tuesday. And I believe that's all of our announcements for right now. We are talking about angels today. And please remember, if you haven't already, while you're watching this, click that like button down below. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then hit the subscribe button. If you're local, it's great when you join us in person as well. And right along with that, we're going to get right on into the angels and the archangels specifically. I love working with angels. They are so present in our lives. They're everywhere. The angels are so abundant around us, yet for a lot of people it brings up different things, different emotions, different charges, some good, some not so good. And so it depends on, what you were brought up to think about angels. And so I think that when you really start working with angels and you draw them into your life, you're going to discover that they are so much more than you have ever heard from any other sources before. They love working with magic. If you're somebody who works with magic, they really enjoy that. They love helping anybody if you need help. And yet at the same time, angels need you to ask them to come into your life. If you are wanting to work with angels, then you simply need to ask them to come in, because we all have free will as people, as humans on this planet. That's one of the things that makes us unique, is the fact that we have free will. So angels aren't just going to jump in and interfere and change the path of your life, but if you ask them, you can have amazing results that will come through. If you do magic, if you ask them to add to your spell work or to your ritual or whatever it is that you practice, you're going to see amazing results. If you have somebody that is in your life that needs a healing, then you can ask the angels to come in and see miraculous results. There are many doctors out there that will have patients at different times and they'll say, I don't know how that person healed, but somehow they healed. And a lot of that's the power of prayer, or it's the power of energy, or the power of thought. All of our thought carries energetic links that travel through space and time. So when you send energy out to somebody, whatever label you want to put on it, if you're putting the label of prayer on it, then it's the same thing as if you're putting the label of energy on it. And it's, all about focusing and seeing that person and visualizing what it is that you want to happen. The same thing if you're manifesting something in your life and you want to draw something, you want to create something in your life, then visualizing that, visualizing what it is that you want to create, seeing it not as something out there that you'd like to have, but see it as something that you have right now in your life and visualize it. See the details. If you're wanting a new house, see the details of the house. Imagine how it feels to unpack your boxes in the living room, and imagine how it feels to sit comfortably and watch TV or chat with your friends in that house. Really put yourself in that situation. If you have a family member or yourself and you're trying to heal them, then really visualize that person being whole and healed, and visualize the excitement and the joy. If it's something like cancer, visualize the excitement and joy of hearing the results that you're cancer free. If it's HIV or AIDS, which is what I worked with a lot in Phoenix, then visualize that joy of seeing your T cells going up and seeing the illness clearing. and any illness. There's somebody I worked with recently that their MS just suddenly seemed to go away. And the doctor asked, well, what did you do differently? Well, energy medicine. It's amazing what it can do. And you can have those results in your life. And if you want to boost with it, the angels are the perfect way to get that boost. So the archangels are one of the realms that I work with a lot. You can call angels into your life in any form or fashion. You don't have to have specific rules. There's no specific how-to or no specific thing that you're going to do that's going to offend the angels. So you don't have to worry about that. You're not going to mess it up by calling them the wrong name or asking for the wrong angel or not knowing what their name is. It's just the intent that really matters. So if you're looking for healing, you can call for the angels of healing. If you're looking to have help, say with the flooding situation in Houston, and you want to help with that, then you can ask the realms of angels that cover that to send their love and support to the people that are there. To anybody that's open to receiving that, then they're going to get that extra boost, because the more that we as people ask them to help, the more they can intercede. Now, on that same topic, on occasion, angels will intercede without us asking, and those are those quick flash instances often, or those life-altering things that happen. So sometimes people will almost be in a car accident, but something happens and they swerve, or they're not sure how it happened, but they just missed that other vehicle, and that's because that's not the course that you were supposed to be on. So your guardian angel would intercede and move your car out of the way. And that happens in a lot of different examples too, where there will be a quick flash of something where it was a really important instance and it wasn't your destiny to be on that path, and so the angels will intercede. And it's always nice to give gratitude when that happens too, and just thank your guardian angel. Your guardian angel is the angel that you're born with here in this life. And so as you're coming through from the other side and being born, your angel's traveling through with you, and that guardian angel is with you through everything that happens in your life. And sometimes they're kind of quiet in the background, and they're really hoping that you'll ask them to help, because they like to help, but they won't without you asking. And sometimes they swoop in those instantaneous moments, and when you're not on the right course, and they can help ease things or fix things quickly. And they also are there all the way through when you pass. So when you cross over to the other side, that's the angel that's holding your hand and guiding you as you cross into the afterlife and into what comes next after this life, which we'll be covering in another segment within the next couple months or so. But that angel is like your best friend as far as angels. That's the one that is always with you. You have a lot of other angels that will come and go throughout your life too. So some of them, if you're going to school, then you're going to have angels that are around you for studying and that are there to help guide you through that situation. If you're taking on a new job, then you have angels that help you with your job, or you're going through a tough spot within your job, then you'll have angels that gather around you for that. But again, they can't do a whole lot unless you ask them to help. So if you just ask them to help, you ask them to give you advice, to give you guidance, to help lead you, then you can really hear and get that input from them. You can ask the angels to bring people into your life that will help provide for a need that you have. You can ask angels to help spark creativity. Maybe you're a writer or an artist and you need a new spark of creativity. So ask the angels of creativity to come in and spark that within you, and you'll feel, you just allow yourself to open, and then you'll feel that creativity coming in. Now, a lot of times when you ask the angels, how do you hear your angels? I used to teach people how to communicate with your angels, and this is way too short to get into a huge thing about that. But how do you communicate with your angels and hear your angels? Well, getting calm and quiet. So the first thing you do is you ask them to help, and you just ask them to come into your life. If you have specific angels or specific purpose, then go ahead and call those in. If you don't have anything specific, if you're pretty comfortable with where things are at in your life, but you just want that little bit of something, and you're not even sure what it is, and you want the angel's presence in, then just ask for that. And then the second thing you do is you quiet your mind. So we do every week after the service, we've been doing the meditation. So just take a few moments. You've probably gone through some of those meditation videos already, so you've been training your mind for that. Take a few minutes and then just calm your mind. Focus on your breath and notice what flows into your mind. And notice what flows in with your body too. Notice any different sensations in your body. So let's say you have a situation that is perplexing you. Maybe there's a relationship with somebody in your life and you're not sure how to deal with it. You're not sure if the person is trustworthy or if it's you in the situation or if it's the other person in the situation. So you can call in the angels and ask the relationship angels to come in and give you advice and let you know what you need to do in the situation. So you ask them to help, and then you quiet your mind, close your eyes, and then you feel within your body what sensations come up. So if you feel something maybe that is tightening in your heart, then maybe there's a constriction that is stopping that flow. If you feel there's something tightening in your gut, then maybe it's your gut and your intuition that's letting you know this might be something you need to watch out for. Notice and feel what thoughts come to you. If it's in your gut, sometimes that's that you need to really pay attention to signs. Maybe it's not somebody that's as trustworthy as you had hoped, and so you need to listen to the signs that come up in your body. If you instead feel really lightheaded, then maybe it's that you have just too much going on in your own life and in your own brain, and maybe you're needing to open up your own thoughts. Maybe you need to be open to new possibilities, new ways of looking at things, new ways of thinking about things, and it might be more you than the other person. So notice when you ask your angels and go within and see what stirs within your body, what awakens, where do you feel the message coming through, and that can be one of the ways to really know what they're saying to you. You can also just kind of calm your mind, and let's say you're not feeling any specific sensations in your body, but you start to get certain images that come into your mind. So you might have certain images that flow in, and pay attention to what the images are. Don't analyze them too deeply at first. Just allow those images to flow in, and then write them down afterwards, and then see what that means to you afterwards. So are you seeing, pink roses or something? It might be something obscure like that, or it might be that you're seeing, words that flow in. Whatever it is, write it down, and then think about what that means to you, what that symbolism means to you, and ask your angels to help you interpret that too. And so the more you work with it, eventually you'll get to where you can actually start hearing the messages from your angels, and it'll be very clear to you what it is they're trying to tell you, what they're inspiring you with, what advice they have. The more you do it, you'll move from just feeling it within your body or seeing images to actually hearing them communicating with you. And they'll only communicate with you in the level that you're ready. So don't be afraid that if you ask them to communicate with you, don't be afraid that you're suddenly going to start hearing voices and that's going to scare you, because they're not going to do that to you. If you're not ready for something, then they won't intercede in that way. They will only come to you in a way that won't be scary, and it will be from a place of love. So if you ever feel like you have a message and it seems like it's a negative message or it doesn't make sense in that way, then that's not coming from your angels, because angels will only come through with love. And there might be times that they tell you you need to get rid of certain people in your life, or you need to get rid of certain habits or certain thought processes or things. Sometimes we need to eliminate things like that. So they might let you know that, but it's going to be from a place of love. And then they'll also let you know what to fill in that void too, because anytime we let go of certain things, that we're creating space for more love, more light, more blessings to come in. So that's one way you can kind of start to communicate with your angels. Now the angels I work with a lot are a couple of the archangels. I do invoke all of the archangels at different points, but my two that I work with predominantly are Michael and Raphael. Raphael is considered the ultimate physician, and Michael is the warrior angel. And so anytime I need strength, if I'm needing to, even something very simple, so it can actually be not so abstract, but something simple, like I need to carry something really heavy. Recently I was carrying carpet out of the house and there was a big roll and I was tired at the end of the day, so I actually called on Michael to help give me strength, and I was like, oh, this is much lighter now, and carries it out really easy. And you can do that with furniture in your house. You can do that with relationships too. If you feel like you're feeling run down and you just need an extra something to give you strength, to give you tenacity, to give you courage, then Michael is the archangel that you're going to call on. And Michael uses the color blue. He's associated with the south, actually blue and red. It depends on what tradition you're using. I actually personally use red a lot because he's a fire angel and he's represented by the south. But again, just as I've said so many times, don't get hung up on words and don't get hung up on what one person says as being truth. Because some people, even though I see him associated with red, some people see him associated with blue. And so see what works for you in this whole process. Michael is also associated with people who are born on a Sunday. So there's a lot of things that are interesting, not just with astrology or numerology, but also with dates and days of the week. So if you're born on a Sunday, they say that Michael has a special tendency to work closely with you. And then he can also help protect you from crime as well. And so if you're looking for strength, courage, tenacity, any of those things, or if you feel like you're going to be entered into a situation that might be dangerous or around people that might be dangerous, then Michael's the one to ask to come and help protect you. If you work in law enforcement or in the courthouse in any capacity and things like that, then Michael's the archangel that you might ask to help give you extra protection from any waywardness. And the other one I work with a lot is Raphael. Raphael is associated with the color green and also with the north or the east. And this is another one where it depends on which tradition you're with. Some say that Raphael is associated with the north and some say he's associated with the east. Is any one particular person right about that? No. It's the intent behind it. The angels don't get hung up on, oh, you said the wrong direction. You said the wrong color. You pronounced my name wrong. They don't care about that. That's all English or whatever language you're speaking. That's all human. The angels are these beings of light that are above all of that, and they just have our best interest in mind. So whether you want to say Raphael and face east, or if you want to call Raphael and you feel drawn to hearing him or her from the north, do what resonates with you. There are a lot of books that will say a lot of different things. Find what resonates with you and really work with that. But the consistent thing with Raphael is that he's the ultimate physician. So if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you work in the healing field in any capacity, Raphael's the archangel that you'll want to call upon frequently. If you have anything that you're dealing with, especially anything really intense like lupus or cancer or MS or fibromyalgia or anything like that, Crohn's disease, any of those, Raphael is excellent to call on. And you don't have to worry about the angels being too busy either, because they're not too busy to help you. Some people feel like, well, the archangels, those are really big, powerful angels, and why would they help me? Well, because they care about you. They love to help the human race, and the archangels do often work on larger issues, but they also enjoy working with individuals too. So you can call on the angels of healing if you want something, really big, then the Archangel Raphael is great. If you're looking to help with all of the things that are going on in Texas with the Houston area and all those smaller towns around Houston, and you want to send healing, then you can call on Raphael and ask him to help anybody who is open to it. Ask him to bring in extra healing to anybody who's open to it, because the more of us who ask for that, the more involved he will be. And Uriel is another one. The name Uriel equals the flame of God is kind of the translation of that. And he brings peace to the world, responsibility, renewed hope, and inner peace. So if you're somebody that struggles with really deep depression, or you just feel like things are in despair and you're not sure how to pull yourself up from where you're at, then Uriel is the perfect one to call, because Uriel is all about helping shine that inner peace, helping calm that mind that gets so chaotic within, and then also responsibility and bringing peace to the world. And so when you get that calm in your mind, and then he can help, take that that weight of the world off your shoulders and help you file that into a responsible way, helping show you how to pull yourself up out of that and helping inspire you with that. And the angels are so amazing. If you do feel like you're alone, or you do feel like you just are not connecting with other people, the angels are right there beside you. Regardless of who else is in the room or not in the room, the angels are always right there with you. There are so many angels all over the place. And when you open yourself up, whether you're seeing them physically or whether you're just aware of their presence or whether you're calling them into your life, whatever capacity you want to work with angels, as soon as you start to open that, you're going to see so much as far as the results and the love and the light that they will bring to you. Uriel is often associated with the color purple, and also associated with the north in the tradition that I use. And then Gabriel is the fourth one, because we have one with each of the directions, northeast, south, and west. And Gabriel's name translates to God is my strength. And this is the good one for communication, guidance, organization. If you need help with order, organization, and discipline, then this is a great angel to call on, Gabriel, and helping you get your life in order, get your life so it is making sense, so it doesn't feel so chaotic. Gabriel is great for helping with that. And now a lot of the times they kind of work together too. So Raphael and Gabriel work really well together because they're both healing and nurturing. And then Uriel and Michael work really well together because they're that strength, the warrior, the responsibility, and the peace. And so it's wonderful to use them together as much as you want, or you can use them all on their own as well. Gabriel is associated with the color white. So we have Uriel is associated with Friday, if you were born on a Friday. Michael is with those that were born on a Sunday. Gabriel is associated with those born on Monday. And Raphael is associated with those that were born on Wednesday. And there are angels for all of the other days of the week too, but these were the main ones we're just covering today. There's so much information about angels. And truly, if I could stress just one message, it's that it's your intent behind it with working with angels. It's not about knowing all of the different facets and having to approach them in a certain manner. It's just the intent behind it. If you need something, you're seeking guidance, you're seeking order, then you can research it and figure out which ones would be best to call, or you can simply call on them as whatever the title is too. So if you're looking to get order and organization in your house, then you can call on the angels of organization. And yes, they're not too busy to help with that, because when your house is in disorder, then your life feels like it's in disorder, and they're here to help you in all aspects of your life: love, finances, pets, health, any aspect of your life. They're here for you. Metatron is another archangel that I really like a lot. I call him out, and I often think of him as coming in from above, kind of like the sixth grade star. Sometimes I'll call him in from above. He's associated with people that were born on a Thursday or that day of the week. So if you're wanting to just develop your relationship with angels, you can actually start working with them on whatever day of the week they're associated with, and that day has an affinity with them. So if you want to start working with Metatron just to develop that relationship, because angels are just like people, it's building a relationship. And so you could start working with Metatron on Thursdays, and then you could start working with Raphael on Wednesdays and Michael on Sundays. Do what works for you. It's just another way to bring in the days of the week with them. And Metatron is the color violet. I also personally see white, violet, and gold with Metatron. And he's helps keep your mind clear so that you can focus on the truths in life. So he helps with perspective, keeping things in perspective, organization, and also children. Metatron is a big protector of children. So if you have any children that you want to be a little extra protected, then you can ask Metatron to bring his protection and also to bring his guidance to those children. He's also the keeper of the Akashic records too. So if you've heard at all about the Akashic records and seeing the ancient wisdom through that, they say that Metatron is the keeper of the Akashic Records. So if you're starting to work with that and trying to learn more about the Akashic Records, then Metatron would be a great one to bring in before you start studying that, asking him to help allow his wisdom to flow into you so that you can understand it and study it better. Cassiel is another big archangel. There are several. There's one for each of the different days of the week, depending on the tradition that you're looking at. In the tradition that I study in, those 5 are the main ones that I see as archangels that I have in that tier. There's 9 different choirs of angels, and I use Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, and Metatron as the main ones in the archangel sphere. And the archangels do a lot of things that are, across the whole planet. Whenever there's global disasters like what we are having in Houston right now, they tend to sweep in and just really help lift the consciousness in that area, to those who are open to it. Often disasters happen for a reason too. It's hard for us to see that sometimes as humans because we don't want to see anybody else suffer. And so it's hard to understand what the lessons are to be learned in these different situations. And angels will only interfere in the ways that they're designed to do as well. And so sometimes sometimes people need to go through hard situations because that's where we really learn the most. That's where we get a lot of our ability to grow and increase not only mentally but also spiritually with our growth. And so with that, I think that's about all we have about the angels today. There's so much information. I wish I could share all of it, but we would be here all morning and all day if I was to bring up all the information. But the biggest thing, remember, is just your intent. So invite the angels to come into your life. Ask them to communicate with you. And just be open to hearing it. So when you ask them to communicate, you can do that in a meditative state as well, or you can just ask them as you're going about your day. But if you do it in a meditative state, that's the best way to really be able to start developing that relationship and learning to hear from them, whether it's hearing by feeling what's going in your body and getting their messages, or seeing certain images within your mind, or you might hear advice directly, or you might see things starting to come through and open up in your life. You might start seeing opportunities opening up, meeting new people that carry you into new paths. And so that's kind of all different things that the angels can help you do. I hope that helps with a little bit of information about the angels, and please enjoy that segment with Tea with DNA that we have started on Tuesdays, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Please remember to hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and then hit that little bell button to get the notifications. You can choose if you want some of the notifications or if you want all of the notifications. When you do that, though, you're going to get some of our video content before anybody else is notified of it. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.